My name's Stephen Wilcock and I'm Chair of Trustees of Trawden Forest Community Centre, Library and Shop. And our story started in 2014, early that year, when our local council announced that the community centre was going to close, and I just couldn't see it happen. You know, my parents, who were elderly, had been elderly parents, used the centre regularly for a luncheon club, for dancing, whist drives, Women's Institute, etc. And it would have been a tragedy if it had closed. So we called a public meeting and got a fantastic response, and from that we formed a charity, and in October 2014 we took over the community centre, which has been a huge success. 2 years later, the adjacent building on the same piece of land, which was owned by Lancashire County Council, had formerly been a library and a children's centre. They announced that was closing as well, and coincidentally just prior to that, the last shop in the village had closed, and also one of the two pubs in the village had closed as well, and it just seemed that the heart was going out to the community. And so we put in a bid for this second building, and we were successful after a lot of negotiations with Lancashire County Council. And in November 2018 we opened a community shop. We opened a community library as well in one part of the building. Again, hugely successful. We knew we had to be different, not just an ordinary corner shop. We're very eco-friendly. We try to eliminate as much single-use plastic as possible. We encourage people to bring their own containers and fill up from the hoppers with various products. We try to please every palate, shall we say, whether it be gluten-free, with a lot of vegans, vegetarians. We use local suppliers as much as we possibly can. And as I say, it's been a huge success. And then early this year, so that's 2021, the couple who owned the pub announced that they were going to sell it, and there was a strong possibility that it would have gone for redevelopment. And so our parish council registered it as an asset of community value. And so a group of us in the village decided that we would set up a separate group and try and raise funds to buy the pub. It was for sale for, I think, about 500,000. So to cut a long story short, in I think it was 8 weeks, we raised nearly £550,000. So on October the 29th, 2021, we completed on the village pub. It opened the week after. We've only been open 2 weeks, but it's hugely successful. We have 2 tenants in who run the business. The business is theirs to run. They've arrived here from Leeds. It's just been incredible. And to find that we're actually the only village in the UK that now has a pub, a community centre, a shop, a library in community ownership, I believe that we're quite unique, and there's something special about this place. For a long time, Trawden's been the end of the line. We're a dead end, you don't pass through here. We're right at the end of East Lancashire, a long way away from County Hall in Preston. A lot of people have never heard of us. We're surrounded on one side by West Yorkshire and on the other by North Yorkshire, which is great, but it's been a little bit the land that time forgot. But suddenly we're back on the map, and people are sitting up and looking at what we can do in Trawden. And the community spirit that had been lost when the services and the shop and the, let's say, the other pub closed, the community spirit had died, and it's just risen again. It's just been phenomenal. So the community centre, the shop and the library are run by about 120 volunteers. The pub, of course, is a business. That's a completely separate thing, although in community ownership. And it's really positive. I've lived here, I haven't lived here all my life, but I've lived here nearly all my life, and I've lived here nearly 60 years. But throughout this process, I've met people who live in this village, which is a very spread out village. We're a large rural community. I've met people that I've never seen before, and they've lived here 10, 20 years. It's brought us all together as a village. It's fantastic.